So hi, welcome to this podcast here with Blake from Saul. We're gonna ask him some questions today. I'm gonna start. So, what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
Uh, what inspired us to start the band? Definitely, I mean, just the love of music, really. When we first started getting going, Zach was already playing guitar. I was kind of a jock in high school. And then he approached me and said, "Hey, my bass player really sucks. Do you think you can play bass?" I said, "It's got four strings, dude. And I'm sure I can do it." But taking on that, if you dive into the instrument, it's a lot more involved than you'd think. But that's really what got me started in music. But the band name, Zach and I were brothers. We went around and did a lot of acoustic shows for a long time, and we were like, the Bedsaul Brothers or the Saul Brothers or whatever, and we just stuck with Saul, part of our last name, and that just kind of stuck with us. So
Okay, that's cool.
Simple.
Yep.
So, congrats on your newest release, Rise is Equals.
Thank
How
you.
do you felt the response to it so far? Of course.
Really great, really a really great response. Everybody's loving it. Obviously, you always get some haters sometimes, but everybody's digging the new record. We put everything we had into the record, and had to do some of it over Zoom sessions, a lot like this during the pandemic, but it worked out. Got to work with some of our biggest influences, like Morgan Rose, David Draymond from Disturbed, Eric Ron, JD from Ice Nine Kills. A lot of people wanted to come in and be part of it, so it was a very special thing for us. This whole record has been.
That's super
Yeah,
cool.
congrats on that. That's huge.
How much of this did you have to do over Zoom? Like, how much of this was done pre-quarantine?
A lot of it was done pre-quarantine. We got lucky enough. We worked with guys, Zach Malloy and Blair Daly in Nashville, and this was right before COVID hit. It was a weird time for Nashville right at the moment. They just got hit by a tornado, and we came down like the day after that happened, and then COVID hit probably like 3 weeks later. So we got lucky. We fit right in that time frame when we were down there. The only Zoom session we had to do for the record was with David. He's in Hawaii, but it was kind of a bummer because he was like, "Man, if this wasn't going on right now, I would have flown you guys out to Hawaii. We would have done this work in my own home studio and stuff like that." But doing it over Zoom is fine. We have a fine time. It's a little sterile, you know what I mean? You don't get like that human interaction, but I wouldn't have turned it down at all. I mean, if David Draymond says he wants to be part of the record, get
He's
over
gonna
here.
be
Let's
a
get
part
this.
of the record.
Yeah.
For the record.
However he wants to do it, whether it's
Yeah.
over email, Zoom.
Yep.
So, is there any meaning behind that album name or cover art?
Yes. The S logo, as you see, I got it tattooed on my hand as well. That is our band logo, our insignia or whatever you want to call it. So that's what we use for everything, and we really wanted to put that as the record, as the album artwork. The term "Rise is Equals," if anybody doesn't know, we call our fans our equals. It's one thing we derive from, like, everybody has like the whatever nation or whatever army or family or whatever. So really to incorporate how important our fans are to us, with the coming to shows and requesting it at radio and listening to podcasts and all that stuff and buying the records. Equals was the best way for us to show them how important they are to us. So the song and the title to the record, "Rise is Equals," is like an ode and a tribute back to the fans.
Okay, I like
That's
that
very
a lot,
wholesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you tell me about your writing process for this record?
Yeah, it actually changed several times on how we did it. So when we were in the studio, we spent 30 days down there. We got most of it knocked out. We were supposed to have like an earlier release. We were thinking like August. Well, with that being, everything kind of happening the way it happened with COVID and everything, record label and us, we decided to do a couple more songs. Got lucky enough. That's when we were down in Nashville working with Zach and Blair. And that's when we did "Things Change" and "Rise is Equals." We did, and then over the pandemic, we did with David on Zoom. So a lot of it kind of changed the way we did that with, working with guys like Zach and Blair. They're not really like the instrumentalist types. They're not going to dive in real hard on the music side of things. They really come from like a singer-songwriter aspect. So that was something different for us. And working with David was almost the same way, just a couple of acoustic guitars, kind of getting the parts back and forth. So it changed because it really, when we start diving into a song, it'll drive from like spark from a melody I have or generally it comes from like a guitar line or a guitar part Zach has. And when we're sitting down together and then we just start, woodshedding it and just hashing it out and getting it done. So definitely it changed a couple times in the whole record process.
Okay. All right.
Sick.
So what song on this record took the longest to write, and what is your personal favorite?
The longest to write, it had to have been King of Misery because it was over Zoom. Had to have been.
Okay.
Because I think we could have knocked it out a lot faster. So we got frustrated a couple times, not with David or it's just the situation. Everybody was tired of being the way this is,
Yeah.
And finally we just broke down, and we were beating a couple ideas together, and finally I got frustrated. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I got this idea. Zach and I went back and we did part of the verse and the chorus to King of Misery, sent it over to David, and he loved it. And then we got back together on Zoom and started, building the song around that. So that's where it worked out better in our favor when it was an actual idea put in place rather than, what are you thinking? Oh, play a C, play a D. It just doesn't work over this.
Yeah.
But gosh, it's hard for me to describe or pick my favorite song on the record because it depends on what track it's on. Because I think if it's on, say, Things Change, I'm like, man, this song's one of my favorites. It gets to Don't Close Your Eyes. I'm like, man, this song slaps. It's one of my favorites. It's really hard for me to pick.
So then, could you give me like a top three? Can you give me that, or is it still too hard?
I'll do. Let's do no particular order, but Rises Equals, King of Misery, and Price Sticks and Stones.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Solid.
Yep.
So can you tell me where your headspace was while creating this record?
In a bad spot there for a little while. During the recording process of this record, we lost, Zach and I lost our mom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, thank you. It took working. We worked with Morgan Rose, and it was a tough time where we were at. Dad called us while we were in the studio over in Illinois, and he's like, the hospital called or whatever. They're going to put Mom on hospice. She's not doing well, and we were out, and we were supposed to be flying to Atlanta the next day to work in another studio, and Morgan kind of shook us into reality and said, get your butts home, man. You can write a million songs, but you only got one mom. So I always have to say thank you to him for, kind of getting me out of my own personal, what I mean? Like I was just so stuck in the moment of doing the record that I wasn't even looking at even my own personal life at home, which was very dumb of me. But I'm glad he shook us into place and said, get home and take care of family. So, that was definitely a tough time for us right there. But other than that, the rest of the songs, just trying to get the songs together, we just went in with one mindset of every song is going to be the best song we ever write, and we just tried to make it that way. So
All right. So I actually want to ask how the opener and closer came about. Did you write them that way, or did it just kind of fall that way?
With Trial by Fire and Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Trial by Fire, we put that out because we put The Toll and Brother on the record. It originally came from the EP Eons, but we wanted to open up the record with Trial by Fire because it is the first song we released from the record. So to come out swinging, and that song just got a bob to it. You just want to get into it. I love that guitar riff that Zach had in that song. So we just definitely wanted to open up the album with a banger and just come in full force. And to close with Welcome to the Machine. So we got actually permission from oh my gosh, why is his name? Roger Waters. Roger Waters himself actually gave us permission for Welcome to the Machine, which was huge.
Mm-hmm.
We're huge Pink Floyd fans. He's a rock legend. And we just wanted to close it out with something a little bit different. All the songs, being original and doing it all that way, close it out with something, that everybody's kind of familiar with, but with our own, the Saul twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I
really
like the
sick.
way the record closed a lot. I said that when we chatted about it on the show. So
awesome.
That's what I
awesome.
wanted to ask. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Solid. So is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while going through this record?
Positivity.
Positive.
I think the world is kind of missing that at the moment. So every song we tried to put, even if it came from a negative headspace, like Trial by Fire, Mom going through all that stuff, that's really what kind of where that song came from. But still trying to put a positive, like we do what we have to be who we want to. Every song's got a positive message to it, to where self-empowering, get out there, get it done. You know, you're strong enough, you're good enough, get it done. So we try to instill that in every song we do. And, you know, the song Rises Equals is an ode, a tribute to our fans. You know, this is my tribe, these are my people, sisters and brothers, you are my equals. And, you know, every song, just positive energy is what we're trying to put in the atmosphere.
Hell yeah.
I like that. Positive.
So what band or artist influences do you think you can hear the most on this record? Do the Disturbed and Ice Nine Kills influences come through, or
maybe a little bit? Definitely, like when we're in the studio, we can always say we reference a couple guys when I'm doing vocals, like Jonathan Davis from Korn.
Taste.
You know, get a little bit of Jonathan Davis on that growl or on that vocal part. You know what I mean? And
as you should.
Yeah, right. I agree. You know, definitely David Draymond. He comes through. He was a big influence of me. We definitely go with we're heavily Tool influenced. So throwing a little bit of Maynard and stuff in there, trying to get that cool. He's got his own. I mean, he's a legend. He's got his own thing going, and we definitely try to throw a little bit of that in there, just because we're so influenced by them. That may not technically be like on purpose, but you can definitely get some vibes definitely from those guys.
Okay.
Solid. So this question should go like super, super fast. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. Off the top of your head, as fast as you can. No rush, though.
Rises Equals.
Rises Equals. All
Man.
right. Wonderful.
Taking the
Took
cheap
easy
way out.
God.
Yeah, right. I know. Hey, man. I don't know.
Hey, you had the opportunity to, so why not?
Right.
I
Another
respect
plug.
it. Yeah. So I know this album literally just dropped, but do you guys have anything in the works that you can tell us about?
You know, we do have songs that we did work on. We have a couple that we were working on with David. We have a couple on the back burner, some records, or some guitar riffs and everything in the works for the next record. As far as anything live shows, live streams, or anything like that, we just did our final one for the year on October 23rd on the release. But we're just hoping to get back out on the road. That's our main focus right now. So that's our goal, and we're hoping for April in 21 that we get back out there and do it.
So there are dates like tentatively booked right now for next year.
Yep.
Okay.
We got some offers from some bands and that want us to come out with them, and it's right around April. So that's just kind of what we're basing on right now.
Okay.
All right.
I hope it gets
Hope
to
it
happen.
works out.
That'd be cool.
Me
That'd
too.
be really
Yeah.
cool. So where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
You know, every day you're just trying to grow. You're just trying to grow every day. So I'm just hoping that it takes to the next level. I mean, who doesn't want to be the next Shinedown or Disturbed or you know whoever, the Tool or Metallica? I mean, everybody wants to be Metallica. They're the biggest band in the world. That's definitely where we're trying to go. You know, on a smaller scale, we're just trying to write the best songs we can, put out records, put out the best videos we can, and that's where our main goal is. You know, to get to the top, but you got to start from the bottom to get there.
Sure.
Definitely. Hope you guys become the next Metallica. That'd be sick.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music and go straight to death row. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh.
Bigger boom. No. Yeah.
Okay, we have this restaurant right around here. It's called La Juanita's. It's Mexican food. It is literally my all-time favorite restaurant. I would probably get the steak burrito and the lengua tacos. It's amazing. It's amazing. With I don't know, what would I have to drink? A Coke?
Yeah. Coke.
Solid.
All right. Solid. Solid.
Very
Classic. Yeah. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
I do want superpowers. I don't know. Gosh, the Marvel Universe would be pretty cool, but only if I had superpowers. I wouldn't want to be one of them cronies that are just running away from New York getting destroyed.
Yeah, that'd be kind of sucky.
That would suck. I mean, something like that would be cool. Game of Thrones, you know, that whole universe might be kind of cool.
That'd be very cool.
So you like danger as well?
Yeah, for sure.
So you want to die within that week, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be cool though. It'd be cool though.
It'd be cool.
It'd be cool. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we have spoken to have said the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Black.
Black.
Well, okay. I was talking to an artist buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to an artist buddy of mine where he says black and white are not colors.
Mm-hmm.
They are just a mix. Or I don't know how he described it to me. He's like, you'd have to pick orange or blue or some color. I like literally only wear black and white. So, like our bus is black, our trailer is black and white and gray. The interior of the bus is black and white.
Oh my god.
I hope you guys have good air conditioning in there. You'll sweat your ass off.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In there.
Yeah, we got 2 of them.
Good.
Okay, good.
So as I said, that is all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
If anybody listening, check out saulofficial.com. It's got direct links to all of our social medias. We did just drop a new record October 23rd. Just check it out. Let me know what you think. Hit us up on social medias. I take care of the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. So if you send us a message, you will get a direct message from me. So hit it up. I'll chat you up.
All right.
Sick.
Well, thank you for sitting down with us. This has been Blake from Saul, and we are the Good Noise Podcast.